Hello and welcome to HPA-Global Insights, where we'll be interviewing experts from the dietary supplement, nutritional ingredient, and overall natural health food industry. Please like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell, and comment below. Now on with the show. Hi, welcome to the show. Today we're going to give a little update on China's dietary supplement industry. I'm joined today by my good friend and colleague, Mr. Charles Diao. He's based in Shanghai, and we'll be going over some stuff with recording process, registration process, ingredients, finished products, Matchmaking, Probiotic Summit, and a bunch of other things. So welcome, Charles. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, Jeff.
Okay, so obviously we're doing this during the pandemic and all that fun stuff. All right, so enough
Yeah, not
about
too bad.
COVID. I think everyone has had too much COVID in their ears for months now.
Right.
So let's talk about the regulatory situation in China for supplements. Just so people that are watching, some may know about this, some may not, but let's just break this down into three different categories of how do you
Yeah.
get a finished product if you're from the US or Canada or Europe, wherever you're from, and you're international, trying to get your product into China. There's a registration process is one way. So that's the official registration process. It can take 3 to 5 years to get approval, and it's very expensive to go through that process. The
Yeah.
second one would be recording or filing system, which is faster, could be 6 to 10 months, and not nearly as expensive. But that's basically for like vitamins and minerals at this point,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And the third way would be cross-border e-commerce, which basically you don't need registration or filing for that. You just take the product, sell it right through cross-border platform into China. So let's start with blue hats. So what I mean by blue hats, to be clear with the audience, is these are the products that are registered and have like a functional health claim attached to it. So we'll start with domestic. We'll break it down into domestic products and international products. So Charles, let's go over like maybe 2017 until now. How many of these things have been done, the registered blue hats?
Okay. We went through the government database of the health food, and actually we asked some like regulation agents. We got some data from the website, but we can see from the different sources the number are very different. So we went through the government website and searched the product by the approval number. Like the domestic registration products, they have before the approval number, they have 4 Chinese characteristics, which are 国实建筑. So we searched that through the database, and we got our numbers. In 2017, there are 775 results from for the domestic approved health food, and in 2018 there are 10 approvals. In 2019, the number became 557, and in 2020 there are 533. And for the
that was for international, right? I mean domestic.
No, the domestic.
Okay.
Domestic registered blue hats.
Okay.
And for the international, for the international product, we searched in the same way, and we only got 17 results in 2017. And after that, there were no results on the government database. So yeah, that's what we got.
Okay, so for the last 4 years, basically, there's been 17 new registered international or imported products.
Imported, yeah, blue hats.
Okay,
yeah.
So there's some discrepancies there because the database is not, maybe it's not up to date.
Yeah.
But also there's also renewals too. So some companies,
Yeah.
it's not it's not a new registration, it's an old, because the registrations are only good for 5 years. So in some cases, they're just renewals of an old registration, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that takes care of the registered blue hat products that come with a health claim. So let's go on to the newest way to get in, which started in 2017, was the filing, or some people call it the recording process, which is a bit faster, maybe 6 to 10 months, and not nearly as much money. Could be in the what, like 10,000. I've heard, some companies are doing $10,000 to $20,000 for a recorded process, compared to registration, which could be like $150,000 for one product.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the recording, domestic and imported or international.
So we still use the same method to search on the government database. We used the 实践被知 as a keyword. That means that are the Chinese characters in the approval number of imported registered recorded products. So we found 75 results since 2017 to 2019, and there were 5 in 2017, 40 in 2018, and 305 in 2019. But after 2019, 2020, and this year, we didn't find any result.
Yeah, that's most likely because of the pandemic.
COVID-19, yeah.
Yeah. And then for domestic recording, the problem with that one, I think, is that the recorded domestic products are all handled locally at each provincial office of the State Administration of Market Regulation. So it's not centrally controlled by Beijing into one database. So there's multiple, and some of those databases are not running, or they're just not clear how to access that information. But from what we heard, there's probably 5,000 or something like that of these recorded domestic products. So there's quite a bit more of those than there is of the international ones, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, far more.
Okay. And then also for the registered ones, we can go back to that. I think registered ones for domestic companies are also handled by provincial, right?
No, registered products are all from central SAMR. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So those people that are not aware, so there was the Chinese Food and Drug Administration, which was revamped and kind of broken down into a new group called the China Drug Administration, or CDA, and that they no longer oversee health food products. So that's where this new SAMR, or State Administration of Market Regulation, came from, and that all started in 2017, right?
Yeah.
So cross-border, we're not going to really talk about too much, because there's no, I mean, it's just kind of a straightforward thing, and that could be its own. We've already done a couple videos, one with Tmall, which has a great program in place, and then with our friend Ron. If you didn't see those videos, you can go back and check those out. Some really good videos from Ron Wardell, and talking about, getting your brand in China through cross-border, and those are really good videos. So we won't talk too much about that. So let's move on to, we work with a lot of ingredient companies, and so you can't just bring an ingredient to China and start selling it. You got to get it approved. So what's the name of the organization that handles that? Because it's not SAMR that does that.
Yeah, that is always the National Health Committee. Yeah, released the new list of the health, the food ingredient list. Okay. New food ingredient. Yeah.
So again, with some of our members have gotten approvals, and the time frames and costs are all over the place, but generally it was always said about 2 to 3 years it would take to get a food ingredient, a new food ingredient, or there's many different names, new resource food ingredient. There's all kinds of different names they gave it, but 2 to 3 years. So let's look at like 2017 to now in terms of how many ingredients, new ones were approved.
Yeah, we found 26 new food ingredients, and in 2017 there were 10, 2018 to 2019 3, and in 2027, and this year and 2021 till now we got 4 new ingredients.
Okay, so it's food ingredients is a bit difficult. Do you think it's just people aren't trying, or is it just too difficult? I mean, because that's basically over the last 4 years, that's approximately 6 to like 6.5. You can't have half an ingredient, but it's like 6 to 7 ingredients per year if you broke it down evenly. So that's not a lot. That's quite a small number. So why do you think that is?
Because the China government, has a very strict, definition for the food ingredient. It has to have the features of food, and it can't be too functional. And many ingredients manufacturers, they want to register for new food ingredients just because it's a way to enter China market, and they want to sell to supplement industry, and their ingredient is too functional. So sometimes most of these kind of ingredients are not able to be approved as a new food ingredient.
Especially, I think the hardest ones would probably be botanical extracts.
Yeah.
Just by the mere fact that China has, Chinese medicine and the Chinese pharmacopoeia, which has got thousands of botanical extracts listed as under the regulatory system of traditional Chinese medicine. So, in the US, we might have some botanical extracts that we just sell as dietary supplements, but in China, those would be considered like medicine.
Yeah, and another problem is if the ingredient is approved as a new food ingredients, then you sell it in China market, you are not supposed to claim any health functions. That's not the thing many manufacturers want to see.
Yeah, so that's what makes it a bit difficult, because if you want to get a new ingredient approved in China, you obviously, as the ingredient manufacturer from wherever you are in the world, you want to have some kind of claim. You want because it's new, consumers need to know, well, why am I eating this, or why am I swallowing this? What does it do? And just the nature of the Chinese regulatory system for these ingredients, it kind of makes it difficult to have any real claims. So that's difficult. So that's, I think you hit it on the head. That's probably one of the main reasons why it is difficult to get approvals. And when you do, you have basically a food that you can't say is going to, help any kind of function of the body. Okay, so with that in mind, let's talk about regulatory improvements, or the outlook. Like what is, because China has invested quite a bit, through its 5-year plans, with health in mind, knowing that in the future there's going to be, there already is, but a growing sizable group of people in China that are considered senior citizens, and if they're not healthy, over the next 20 to 30 years, that is going to be a very big problem for China, taking care of all these senior citizens. So I think preventative medicine, food for special medical purposes, dietary supplements, exercise, just overall nutrition, these are all really important things for China right now, and they're investing quite a bit in these, which is good for our industry. But we've got a regulatory system that's still quite slow and is very conservative. So how do you balance those? Like, move forward quickly with all these new health improvements for people, but we have a regulatory system that kind of holds it back a bit. So let's just talk a little bit about what do we see, moving forward in terms of, is it going to be easier for companies, or is it going to be more difficult, or what do you think?
Actually, we did see some, I should say a few changes, but like last November 29th, we saw the health functions were adjusted from 27 to 24. But it's hard. But for now, it's hard to say if it will be an improvement or not for the current difficult situation. Up to now, we haven't noticed an easier process yet. But a good thing is we are seeing the recording system is heading forward. The government is consciously searching for more ingredients for the health food raw material list. And when the ingredients go into the list, it then can be recorded in China. That's a big improvement and an easier process. So, but it's still clearly to say that new ingredients listed in the list is a long process, and we need to wait for government to find these ingredients first. Yeah.
Well, I know back years ago when I was doing a lot of advocacy work and working with the Chinese government, sharing information. I mean, one of the things that we were really encouraging China to look at was, look at all the ingredients that China already has approved as food, and allow those to be used as in supplements, straight away. So there's quite a long list of products, and what you just touched on with the that new system, which is nice. There's 5 new ingredients added to that recording process. Before this, it was just like I mentioned earlier, it was just vitamins and minerals for the most part, that could be used in this recording system. But now there's 5 new ones, and let me see if I remember. There's like CoQ10, fish oil, spirulina, melatonin, and
the wall broken spores of the reishi.
Yeah, from the Linger or reishi mushroom.
Reishi. Yeah.
So those are 5 things that are now approved to be used in the recording. But the problem with that, it's good and bad, because the recording process does not allow any claims. Right?
Limited claims. Yeah.
So I think
you can only follow their instruction.
Yeah, the standard. So the claim, I think, in general, is kind of like nutritional support.
Yeah.
It's something very vague or very, kind of open-ended.
Limited.
It's exactly. So it's good that these are added, because now they can be used. But then the bad part is, so from the regulatory, like, for example, you're talking about the regulatory people in a company, they're excited because now this product can be used. But then if you talk to the marketing people of that same company, they have a headache. They say, well, how do we market these products? We can't say too much about them, or we'll get in trouble because of advertising laws. But yeah, it's good and bad. I think, I think that the government, you kind of mentioned it a little bit before, I think that moving forward, one aspect that's going to be better is that there'll be more and more ingredients added to this recording list.
Yeah.
And the amount of products that could be recorded and brought into the market will increase. But then again, we're stuck with that problem of, making those health claims. And I think Chinese consumers really look at that. It's very important for them. If they're going to eat, take a pill, they expect it to be almost like medicine. They want to have some kind of claim attached to it, like, I'm taking this because it's helping me with X problem or whatever. So there's still, I think, a lot of education too, for the consumer side, to understand what these products do and why you take them.
That's also the reason why cross-border e-commerce is still hot now in China.
Yeah. Well, because with that,
you have more freedom spaces to choose products.
Yeah. Well, and then there's separate. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, guerrilla marketing is a term people like to use, but sometimes you can use different, like, you can use key opinion leaders on a social media platform to give their own opinion about something, not specific, not from the company, but from them. And maybe they are working for the company probably paying them money to do it, but it's like 2 separate things. Like, over here, we're telling you our opinion about a supplement, and then separately over here on another platform, that's where it's being sold.
Mm.
And I know we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah.
like recently the government is watching this, and they're trying to regulate how this happens, because it's really what they say is key opinion leader is just advertising.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
though
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
their opinion, it's still an advertisement.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up and talk about a couple of things that the association is
Mm.
doing. We started the Probiotic Summit,
Mm.
and I did
Mm.
a video earlier with George um, Paraskevakis, and he's the
Mm.
director of the International Probiotic Association. So we worked together to do the Probiotic Summit, which you were very involved in organizing the first
Yeah.
one, which was really good. That was
Yeah.
2019. We had close to
Yeah.
300 people, and that was a really
Mm.
good event in Shanghai. It was an all-day event, 8 hours long. Lots of networking, lots of great stuff. And if you want, you can go back. If you're watching this video, you want to learn more, you can go back, watch that video with myself and George.
Mm.
So for this year, or not this year, actually last year, 2020, unfortunately, we had the pandemic and COVID-19. So we had to, like everyone else, either cancel.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? So China had pulled out of the COVID problem a lot sooner,
Mm.
and people were getting back to work. Conferences started to happen, so we decided to go
Mm.
ahead and have that. So you did a great job and organized in Shanghai with one of our partners. So tell us a little bit about that one that just happened last. When was that? In November, right? November 2000.
Yeah, November 25th. Yeah. Mm. So the 26th during the FIA show Expo. Actually we still planned for a big event in early 2020 till April, and finally we found it was not possible to have a 270 people show like last year, like we did in 2019.
Mm.
So we changed the plan and worked together with the Informa team and had a smaller seminar during the FIA show on the first day's afternoon. We are the first speaker, event organizer, and we invited five companies to talk about their latest news, updates of their researches, and their concepts. There were Fonterra, Yakult, Lalamont, WeCare, and Probi. So yeah, I think we got pretty good attentions from the industry. We got 70 to 80 people watching our event that are almost filled up our spaces. Yeah, so
Yeah, because the room was,
it's a small room.
because
Yeah.
this was held during the expo, at the expo. So we only had a very small area to hold it. So it was like 80 seats or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still found dozens of people standing
Yeah.
outside our stage. Yeah.
So the only people that came, basically we worked with those 5 companies that some are members and some are friends that we've been working with.
Yeah.
They are all international brands, except WeCare. WeCare is a domestic Chinese company, but they all have
Yeah.
offices and teams in China, so they were able to go to the event, and the attendees were all from the Chinese industry. So unfortunately, there was really no, I think, any international people that you saw at the event. They live in China and work in China. So
Yeah.
so moving forward, we were looking at 2021. Everyone thought, the vaccine would be here and all this, and we'd be getting back to normal. But it looks like the vaccine is not going to get to everyone in America. It's going to be into the late spring or even summer for some people. So I think most likely international travel is probably not going to happen, because the FIA show normally is held in June. So that's what we're looking at for 2021 Probiotic. So what are we planning for 2021 for Probiotic Summit?
Yeah, we according to the current situation, we also adjust our plan strategy, you mean? I mean, in the future, the COVID thing may become a new normal, and we have to, we have to understand this situation. So we are planning to strengthen our online promotion. That's a good, that's a big step we are going to have in the future. We just worked together, partnered with three big WeChat accounts, industry accounts for the food industry. So now, with the WeChat account, online groups, and websites, and our own media channels, we are now covering around 100,000, industry people, and most of them are researchers, RD people, and product managers, some people like that in the industry. So we are starting a new topic online now, and we are giving more online promotion opportunities to the probiotics companies. We are now doing interviews with all the probiotic companies we are partnering with. I think around 12 to 15 companies. We are doing interviews for them and put it on our topic, under our topic. And in the future, we will sure have more topics, including the researches, including the marketing news or financing events, something like that. Yeah. And that will also be a part of our probiotic series event in China. Our probiotic series, including online, offline matchmaking, all of the event about probiotics. So yeah, I think in the future, yeah, we will be more fruitful.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I think one of from the start of this Probiotic Summit, when you and I kind of talked about launching this and starting it, I mean, the key feature for us was, having an event that basically is putting our members and our industry colleagues that work with us, like sponsors, putting them in front of an audience that is completely made up of potential partners. So that was very important for us. So a lot of other conferences are more like industry education or industry academic events where there's, the audience it could be, the audience could be made up of completely your competitors. You just happen to sponsor the event, so you got a speaking position, but a good portion of the audience is all people that are making ingredients and doing things just like you, and they're not really they're part of the industry, of course, but they're not potential partners. So we really focused in on it and inviting like the food R&D people, the contract manufacturers in China, OEM that make products, and get a very 70 to 80% of the audience is all potential potential clients. So that's something that's very important for us when we do these events.
Our key point is communication, the industry interaction. Yeah.
So you mentioned one word in there you mentioned was matchmaking. So that's an important aspect, but it's also a completely separate thing that we're working on. So tell us a little bit about that, what we're doing with that.
We noticed actually recent years, we noticed there are many requirements from the China cross-border e-commerce retailers. They are looking for good unique foreign products. Yeah, but because most of the retailers, they are not from the industry. They don't have a basic sense of the industry, so it's hard for them to choose to compare different products.
And these are finished products.
Yeah.
Finished like to the B2C or to consumer finished products.
Yeah, finished products. So as an association, we have a lot of opportunities to get in touch with very good, unique, advanced product worldwide. So in this case, we started the matchmaking project to help bring the good products into the China cross-border e-commerce retailers and make this kind of business happen. in 2019, actually, we already introduced US brand, a famous US brand in Florida to Zhejiang company, and they are now working together and very happy because they told me just now. Yeah, so
that's good.
So
Well,
I think this
we've
kind
done
of
quite a few of those introductions over the years. I think it's just now that we, not because of COVID, but I think it's just now we've gotten more. I think the retailers have gotten more sophisticated and are realizing that, you know, some of the products like, you know, like a basic calcium or something. There's so many companies making calcium, and calcium is like, I think right now calcium is still the #1 ingredient in China, or product, you know, being sold in China. So there's just too many, and fish oil and calcium and a lot of, you know, stable products like that. So they're looking for, as you mentioned, like newer products, which 2 years ago, even a year ago, a lot of these companies weren't even interested in new products, because it's an uphill battle. You have to take a brand new product, introduce it to the consumers, and at starting at ground zero. But because so much competition now, I think people really want to be, these retailers want to be, you know, want to differentiate themselves and say, hey, we've got this product that no one else really has now. So
that's right.
That's a very positive. I'm very happy to see that, and that's why we have this this new program. So for all those finished product companies out listening, you know, if you do want to enter the China market, you know, you can give Charles and I a call or email. And
we are now getting around 20 cross-border e-commerce retailers in hand, so they are very eager to know new products. Yeah.
And we can't guarantee that every product is going to be a winner. And kind of basically how it works too is we're going to give these products the basic introduction to this database of companies that we work with, and they're going to, you know, they might not want the product because they don't like the label, or they don't like the name, or they don't like the function, or there could be a whole variety of reasons why they don't want it. But we're hoping that there's a lot of reasons why they would want to take it. And it's valuable input, so the companies can tell us, like, well, why didn't you want to work with that company? Well, we don't like the label, it's just not appealing, or, you know, and that information is very important for a international company to understand that, you know, we're not getting business because our label's not attractive, or the name, or function, or whatever it is. I think that's very valuable information to get back from China and from the retailers.
Yeah, and different retailers have different focus, have different targeted groups. Maybe some are handling women, some are handling kids, some are handling senior people. So the product need also to meet their requirements. Then they can start talking about cooperation. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, this went quite long. I think there's a lot of good information in here, and I hope everyone that's watching it enjoyed it and got some good info out of it. You know, questions, comments, suggestions, let us know. You know, we'll have our contact information at the end. Charles, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for.
And take care, you know, during this time. You know, I know that, you know, the vaccine is here. China's got their vaccine, and we just hope everything, by summertime, hopefully everything is getting back to normal.
Yeah. Hope you're feel good in US too. Yeah. Keep safe.
Yeah, I hope so.
Stay healthy. Yeah.
Okay, Charles. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to HPA Global Insights. Please like, subscribe, and share with your colleagues. Any questions or suggestions, email us at info@uschinahpa.org. This channel is operated by US China Health Products Association, which is a nonprofit organization. Please consider joining the association and supporting its global endeavors. Your support is very much appreciated. Until next time, take care.